My son took me out of his life until his wife needed something only I had. Lena Nana Washington stared at the eviction notice taped to her door like it was a bad joke from the universe. Her only son, Marcus, had quietly refinanced her paid-off bungalow with a reverse mortgage he forged her name on, pocketing the equity for a champagne-soaked escape to Paris with his scheming wife, Simone, and her haughty mother, Vivian. She didn't weep or wail. Instead, a slow, steel-edged smile cracked her weathered face, because in the shadows of betrayal, Lena had always hidden her sharpest weapon, the unbreakable family recipe for her grandmother's gumbo, a Creole secret passed down through blood and bayous that Simone now craved to steal for her authentic LA pop-up restaurant empire. The winter sun slanted low over South Central Los Angeles, painting the cracked sidewalks in bruised oranges and purples, the kind of light that made the palm trees look like weary sentinels guarding secrets too heavy to share. Lena Washington, 72 and built like the oak roots that clawed under her modest Crenshaw bungalow, eased her aching knees onto the sagging porch steps. Her hands, etched with the fine lines of decades scrubbing other folks' marble counters, clutched a faded Polaroid of Marcus at 5, gap-toothed grin, clutching a plastic stethoscope she'd scavenged from a garage sale, declaring he'd be a doctor to fix Mama's tired. That was before the world sharpened his edges, before Simone sanded them into something unrecognizable. Inside, the house smelled of yesterday's cornbread and the faint, lingering brine of the bayou she'd left behind in Louisiana at 16. No husband, gone after Marcus was born, chasing pipe dreams and a bottle, no safety net, just her and the boy against the grind. Lena had clawed her way through it all. Dawn shifts at the Beverly Hills estates, where she'd polish silver while the wives gossiped about affairs she could only imagine, nights poring over community college books by flashlight to help Marcus with homework she barely understood herself. Every dime went to him. Tuition at USC, that first suit for his finance internship, the down payment on his condo in Silver Lake when he swore it was investing in our future, Ma. But futures shift like fog off the Pacific. 2 weeks ago, the mail had brought the hammer, a bank statement showing $120,000 siphoned from her home equity line, a line she'd never touched, secured by the house her daddy built with his own calloused hands after migrating west in '52. Marcus's name was on the transfers, wired to a joint account with Simone. No call, no apology. Just a Facebook post from Paris. Marcus in a beret, arms slung around Simone's Botox-smooth waist, Vivian smirking in the background with a flute of Veuve Clicquot. Caption, reclaiming our joie de vivre. Some chapters close so new ones sparkle. Hashtag blessed. Paris nights. Underneath, Simone's comment, to fresh starts, away from the old recipes. Wink emoji. Landed like a slap because Simone knew she'd pried it out of Lena over forced family dinners, that sacred gumbo recipe, the one with the roux simmered slow over ghost pepper and sassafras, the one that could turn water into gold in the right kitchen. Simone's soulful Simone food truck was blowing up on TikTok, but she needed authenticity to go brick and mortar. And Lena? She'd shared it once in a moment of foolish hope, thinking blood might still bind them. Lena didn't smash her phone. She set it down gentle on the Formica kitchen table, the one scarred from years of Marcus's science projects, and brewed chicory coffee strong enough to wake the dead. Her neighbor, Miss Pearl, 85 and sharp as a switchblade, shuffled over later that afternoon, her housecoat flapping like a flag of truce. "Girl, you see that mess your boy posted? Paris? With her mama looking like she smelled something foul the whole flight over?" Pearl plopped a Tupperware of sweet potato pie on the table, her eyes narrowing behind bifocals. "He take the house money too? Bank called me about mine last week. Said some fool tried to peek." Lena poured the coffee, steam curling like unspoken accusations. "All of it, Pearl. Forged my John Hancock slick as owl grease. Figured I'd be too country to notice until the sheriffs came knocking." Pearl sucked her teeth, a sound like gravel under tires. "That Simone witch got him twisted. Remember when she first came round? Nose so high I thought the ceiling fan was a chandelier. And Vivian, Lord, acting like South Central's a leper colony. What you gonna do, Lena? Call the law? Drag his behind back? Lena sipped, the bitterness ground in her. Her smile returned, thin and unyielding. Law's slow, Pearl, and I ain't dragging nothing. I'ma let him sip that French air till it chokes him. Gotta call in to old Mr. Thibodeau down at the Community Legal Aid. He owned me from '89. Helped his mama when the bank tried to swallow her place. By the time they land stateside, that equity's frozen tighter than gumbo on Christmas. Pearl cackled, but her eyes softened. You always was the quiet storm, Lena. Marcus don't know the half. He think cutting you out his life make him free? Boy gon' learn. Mama's roots run deeper than he dug. Across the Atlantic, under the iron-laced balconies of Montmartre, Marcus Washington nursed a 15-euro espresso, the steam doing nothing to thaw the knot in his gut. Paris was supposed to be salvation. Cobblestone romance, Simone's laughter echoing off the Seine, Vivienne's stories of old money European summers that made his Silver Lake lease feel like a slum. But 3 days in, the high was fraying. The transfers had cleared. $120,000, enough for the Airbnb with the Eiffel view, the private Seine cruise, the couture shopping that left Simone cooing over Hermes scarves like they were holy relics. Marcus had done it quick from his laptop in the dead of night, telling himself it was a bridge loan. Ma's got the house, Simone, he'd whispered to Simone, her manicured nails tracing his jaw. She won't miss it. And anyway, we're family now, real family. But doubt slithered in like the chill off the river. Last night, in the candlelit bistro where Vivienne held court, regaling them with tales of her yacht days in Cannes, which Marcus suspected were more Marina Bar than Millionaire's Deck, he'd excused himself to the alley for a smoke. Simone's voice drifted out, low and laced with that Valley Girl edge she amped up for drama. Mom, it's perfect. The old Bat's recipe? Gold mine. My pop-up's viral, but investors want heritage. Gumbo with that Bayou kick? We'll rebrand it Washington Roots. Ironic, right? Marcus thinks it's his idea. Once we lock the lease on that WeHo spot, we ghost him. Split the equity check. He's too soft to fight. By New Year's, you're sipping mimosas in Palm Springs, and I'm chefing for the Grammy crowd. Vivienne's laugh was a champagne pop. Darling, you're ruthless. I taught you well. Just make sure he signs over that last bit of the deed before he wises up. Men like him, climbers without the climb, always crack. Marcus's cigarette burned to ash between numb fingers. He crushed it under his heel, the spark dying like the Paris dream. Simone, with her kale smoothies and vision boards, had been his escape from the ghetto gravity she called Lena's world. But now it reeked of the same con his daddy pulled. Promises packed in lies, leaving wreckage. He scrolled his phone in the shadows, thumb hovering over Lena's contact. The last text from her, "Proud of you, baby. Call when you land." He'd left her on red. Worse, he'd blocked her number last month after Simone's boundaries talk, saying Nana's energy drained their vibe. Now the block stared back like a mirror to his cowardice. Flashback, indented, italicized. The summer Marcus turned 12, Lena came home from a double shift at the Hills, her uniform starched but her eyes hollowed by heat stroke. The AC was busted, again, and South Central baked under a dome of smog. Marcus, lanky and all elbows, met her at the door with a lopsided grin, holding a manila envelope yellowed from the library copier. "Ma, look, I figured it out. Scholarships. USC full ride if I ace the PSAT. We gon' get out this heat, you and me. Big house in the hills, pool and everything. You won't lift a mop again." Lena dropped her purse, sank to the linoleum, and pulled him into her lap. Him too big now, but she didn't care. Her arms, corded from hauling vacuums up winding driveways, wrapped tight. "Ain't about the house, sugar. It's about you flying high. But promise me, whatever wings you grow, don't forget the nest. This here," she tapped the envelope, "that's our gumbo. Slow simmer, right ingredients. You rush it, it burns." He nodded fierce, pressing his forehead to hers. "Never, Ma. You're the root." In flashback, back on the porch, Lena flipped through her recipe tin. The battered aluminum one etched with Bayou filigree, passed from her grandma Etta, who'd stir it over open fires in Nacogdoches while whispering spells against hunger. The gumbo page was creased from use. ink faded but fierce. Filet chowder from sassafras her daddy smuggled west, okra pickled in moonshine jars. It wasn't just food, it was armor, the story of survival in every ladle. She'd shared a whisper of it with Simone last Christmas over a tense dinner where Vivienne picked at the collards like they were contaminated. Gumbo's secret, Lena said, eyes on Marcus. Guards the heart. Now that tin felt heavier. Mr. Thibodeau had called back that morning, his voice gravelly over the line, thick with the same Louisiana drawl. Lena, honey, it's elder financial abuse, plain. Forged cigs on the mortgage docs, and that reverse, sharks in suits. We file the complaint, freeze the funds, maybe even claw back the Paris spending if we tie it to fraud. But you sure? Boy's your blood.
Blood don't bleach the truth, Theo, she'd replied, her voice steady as the Mississippi. He cut me out his will last month, Simone's idea. Said I was toxic legacy. Found the papers in his desk when I house sat. I'ma show him legacy bites back. Thibodeau chuckled low. All right then, affidavit coming your way. And Lena, that gumbo of yours saved my soul after Katrina. If you need a taste tester mid-relenage, holla. The days blurred into a quiet siege. Lena walked the neighborhood, nodding to the old heads at the barbershop, collecting stories like ammunition. Folks who'd seen their kids drift to the shiny edges of L.A., only to circle back beggared. She archived Marcus's posts, the Louvre selfies, the crepe towers, Simone's stories, hashtagging elevated eats with gumbo teases. Coming soon, a taste of Forbidden South. Each one a pinprick, but Lena pinned them back, building her board in the garage. Printouts, timestamps, witness statements from Pearl. Her smile grew roots. In Paris, the unraveling accelerated. The bank alert hit Marcus's phone mid-Eiffel glow. Count restricted, fraud investigation pending. Simone's face soured faster than Le Cahier. What the hell, babe? Viv, fix this. Your guy's a chase, right? Viv's calls bounced to voicemails, her connections evaporating like mist. By day 5, the Airbnb owner was pounding for back rent, and Simone's credit cards maxed on essentials. Marcus pawned his Rolex, the one Lena bought from overtime at the estates, for euros that barely covered the Eurostar. But the real gut punch came on the train home, Simone scrolling furiously. Marcus, this pop-up? Investors polled, said my authenticity pitch smells off. Some anonymous email with your mom's recipe history. Bayou roots, Etta Washington, all that jazz. They think I'm jacking it. Her eyes narrowed, venom green. You tell her after I said boundaries? Marcus's throat closed. No, but maybe she knows anyway. Ma's got ways. Simone laughed, sharp as broken glass. Yo, Ma, the maid? Please. We'll spin it. Say it's collaborative. But first, we need that full recipe. Call her. Tell her Viv's dying for it. Hot condition, whatever. Women like her eat that guilt up. He didn't call. Instead, he unblocked Lena's number, staring at the blank thread till his eyes burned. 2 weeks after the Paris plane touched down at LAX, the call came. Not from Marcus, but Simone. Lena was elbow deep in roux, the kitchen a haze of onion and cayenne, when her landline trilled like a warning bell. Nana, it's Simone. Listen, we're in a bind. Vivian's doctor says stress is killing her. Needs comfort food, you know? That gumbo, the real deal. Marcus mentioned you might share the rest for family. Lena stirred slow, the wooden spoon creaking like old bones. Her voice came out honey over gravel. Family, huh? Last I checked, y'all rewrote the book on that. But come on over. Tomorrow, Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles, neutral ground, 1 p.m. Bring the boy. The next day, the Roscoe's on Gower was a symphony of sizzle and soul. Plates of waffles golden as sunrise, chicken crisp to perfection, the air thick with hot sauce and hushed confessions. Lena arrived early, in her Sunday best, a dashiki printed with kente patterns her mama stitched, her hair wrapped in a gele that crowned her like a queen. She claimed a corner booth, Thibodeau's folder tucked under her arm like a Bible, and ordered a bottomless coffee. Across the street, the Hollywood sign mocked the grit below. But here, in this greasy gospel of a diner, Lena felt the city bend to her. They slid in late. Simone first, all Lululemon sheen and forced smile. Vivian trailing in a cashmere wrap that screamed slumming it. Marcus last, hollow-cheeked and hangdog, avoiding her eyes. "Nana, thanks for this," Simone started, voice syrupy as cane. "Viv's been craving. Doctor's orders. Gumbo heals, right? Marcus says yours is legendary." Vivian leaned in, her pearls clacking like judgment. "Yes, dear, a touch of home. Though I must say, Paris was divine. Such elevation from the everyday." Lena sipped her coffee, letting the steam veil her smile. Elevation, that's a word. Like how Marcus elevated that mortgage on my house. $120K to the ether. Coof, Paris penthouse. Y'all posted pretty, though. Made an old woman proud. Marcus flinched. Fork paused over his untouched catfish. Simone cut in, nails drumming. "Water under the bridge. Family shares. Now, the recipe. Full sheet, proportions, that filet trick. My pop-up launches next month. It'll honor your roots. Collab vibes." Lena's laugh was a low rumble, like thunder over the levees. She slid the folder across the formica, its edges worn but lethal. "Honor? Funny word from folks who struck me from the wheel. Page 14, Marcus. Saw it when I cleared your desk. Toxic legacy. Simone's notes in the margin. Cut the cord. But all right, you want roots? Open it." Simone flipped it, expecting scribbles. Instead, affidavits, bank logs, mortgage forgeries stamped to Marcus's IP. A cease and desist from Thibodeau, freezing the equity and slapping liens on Simone's truck. Worst, an email chain leaked from an anonymous source. Pearl's niece, tech-savvy as sin, detailing Simone's Paris balcony plot, ghosting Marcus, claiming the gumbo solo. Vivian's pearls went slack. "This is libel. We'll sue. Save it," Lena said, voice sharpened into a blade. "FBI got the wire fraud flagged. IRS peeking at those business deductions for berets and bubbly. And the recipe? Y'all can have the shadow. Post it, sell it, choke on it. But the real one's locked now. Trademarked last week through Theo. Washington Bayou Gumbo. Etta's legacy. Not your pop-up prop." Simone's facade shattered, mascara-streaked fury rising. "You bitch! We needed this! Marcus, tell her!" But Marcus shoved his plate, eyes finally meeting Lena's, raw, stripped, the boy peeking through. "No, Simone, I heard you. On the balcony. Spain? Ghosting me? And the house, the block. I thought cutting you out made me clean, modern. But Paris? It was fog. You were the light I ran from. I'm sorry. God, Ma, I'm so sorry." The diner hushed, forks clinking to a stop. Vivian grabbed Simone's arm. "We're leaving. This woman's poison." "Poison?" Lena rose slow, her presence filling the booth like a gathering storm. "Poison's what y'all brewed. Lies, forgeries, that gumbo grab. Get out. And Simone, touch my name again, and it's not just lawyers. It's every auntie from here to Englewood, boycotting your truck till it rusts." Simone stormed out, Vivian hissing heels echoing. Marcus stayed, head bowed, tears splashing his untouched waffle. Lena said, her hand hovering near his, close, but not claiming, "Not yet. You took me out your life, son. Thought I was the chain holding you down. But chains, they're the ones you forge yourself. With her, now you choose. The fog or the root?" He looked up, broken but blooming. "The root, Ma. Always was. Can we fix it? The house? Us?" She nodded once, the steel softening to something warmer. "We start with truth, then gumbo. Real kind, no shortcuts. And that will, burn it. I'm writing a new one with you in it." In the weeks that followed, the liens bit deep. Simone's pop-up folded under investor flight and viral whispers. Hashtag stolen gumbo trended on the block's group chats. Pearl's handiwork. Vivian retreated to her condo in the valley, nursing grudges and gin. Marcus moved back into the bungalow's spare room, trading Silver Lake sheen for South Central soil. He enrolled in night classes at the community college, finance, the honest kind, and every dawn he'd find Lena's coffee brewing, her recipe tin open on the counter. No lectures, just shared silence, the simmer of rue pulling words loose, regrets spilled like onions, apologies diced fine. Lena's notebook, leather-bound, pages thick with Bayou ink, gained a new entry one humid evening as Marcus chopped okra beside her, his hands steadier now. Roots don't snap easy. They bend, they break ground, they reclaim the light. Pain plants the seed, love makes it grow. And sometimes the prodigal tastes the dirt before he kneels.